Hi, Navin, Nate here from the Lebanon Golf Academy. I'm just going to take a minute here to go over your swing. Looks like you've got a pretty good action, but just a couple things that I think might help you quite a bit. Starting with the grip, you can see I put a model grip here up on the right. This is Adam Scott's grip, and we don't have a close-up of your grip, but you can certainly see, even from a little ways away, how much more to the right his hands are turned on the club, not only in his left hand but his right hand as well. So his right hand feels more underneath the club, left hand feels more on top of the club, and you have what we would call a very weak grip. And when I say weak, I don't mean how tightly or loosely you're holding the club, not at all, but just from a rotational standpoint of the hands on the club. Now, this has a profound impact on your swing. Seeing as how it forces the club face into a very open position at the top of the swing, which I'm going to show you right here. So we look from this down the line. Now, keep in mind, I like your posture. I like your address position outside of the hands. You look like you're nice and balanced there. At the top of this swing, though, as we get closer to the top there, the toe of that club hanging nearly straight down at the ground, which is a very, very open position. It's going to encourage the ball to go to the right. So what we see quite so often when we see an open club face like that is the tendency to have a little bit of an over-the-top move and a cast of the club to try and square it up. So you can see the club is now moving outside of your body, from out to in. This term we've all heard. The club is moving now in that fashion. And a throw of the hands. You can see you've lost all of your wrist angle at this point of the swing. All this is done kind of subconsciously in an effort to get the club more square. The result of it, though, unfortunately, is a very steep swing. You can see a big divot right there, and ultimately that chicken wing look, where you have the left elbow separating from your body and moving out this way. That's in an effort to try and get you some space in your swing. So number one, the grip needs to change so you get a stronger club face, and you want to see at the top of that swing right there, you want to see the leading edge of that club a little bit more out this way. So the grooves would be, the grooves would be facing the sky more, a little bit more out that way. So you want to feel the grooves of the club face the sky. The back of your left wrist is nice and flat. And so that'll encourage you to incorporate more wrist angle into your downswing and swinging more from the inside. Now, the other thing I want to show you here, I know we're focusing on the irons here, but this is especially true with your driver, is your tendency to maybe get a little bit stagnant with your turn. You can see your head is actually moving down and to the left there as you start your backswing. So a very stacked look, almost like your body's leaning that way as you start your backswing. And you would see in just about every professional golfer, except for a certain few, that the head will actually drift slightly to the right, as you'll see here with Justin Rose, one of our former students. See how his head drifts slightly to the right as he starts to swing. Now keep in mind I had those red arrows on each of your right ears as you started the swing, so you can see how much more loaded behind the ball he is there at the top of his backswing. I'll take you up here. You can see you're starting to get a little bit of that load, but still not quite where we need it. So very stacked look, and then the result is you're out in front of the ball as you come down, and that's why you have this, another reason why you have this kind of throwy, casty stand up. You can see your legs are straightening quite a bit, left leg almost coming off the ground. All of that's done to try and get you some space to swing the club because of the steepness. So if you can identify where the steepness actually comes from in the first place and take care of that problem, then the rest shouldn't be as difficult to kind of fix. I do think you have a pretty good swing, and it looks like you've got some power, but you know, again, there's a couple of those little things that are really going to bug you going forward. So looking at the driver here, I mean, we're going to see a very similar thing. If you look at your head relative to that red arrow, see just a little bit more load with the driver, but a big loss in wrist angle there. And based on this image here, Navin, you know, you see the tremendous amount of flex in the shaft that you have, this real bowy look right there. You might be in the market for a club fitting. Again, it looks like you do produce a good amount of club head speed. Of course, it's a little tough to tell for sure just looking on video, but it does appear to me like you produce a good amount of club head speed. So that shaft that you have in that driver looks a lot weak. So it looks like you need something stiffer. Maybe that'll help you control your trajectory and accuracy a little bit more. But same rules apply to the driver. You get your grip fixed up, turn your hands to the right on that club, make sure the grip is in the fingers of your left hand, and get a little bit more loaded behind the ball. So allow your head to drift slightly to the right as you start your backswing, just a little bit, a couple inches, and that should help shallow everything out and get you better contact. And the last thing here is to perhaps look into at least a driver fitting. It's a little tougher to tell with the irons, but I mean that amount of shaft flex right there leads me to believe that you're playing a driver that's not fit for you, and that if you got something with a little stiffer flex, you might actually see an increase in distance and accuracy without doing anything to your swing. Okay, so that's it for now. Again, I think you've got a good motion, a couple little things there, and you should be in good shape. Thanks.